Welcome to 30-30 Cycle and Yoga at the Yoga Chapel. This ride is called David and Goliath, and I designed it based on this idea of a slingshot. So you're riding up a hill with resistance, and then you sprint right at the top of the hill. And so as we get into it, and as we get moving into the ride, we just increase that resistance, that elastic band, and we move through it.
This area has not felt the bike in a couple of days. So 1.5 keeps your chest open. Let's turn that down a little bit. Focusing on your alignment, shoulders away from the ears. Upper body is not working. You're not engaging the biceps. You're only stimulating, so balance through the upper body with the arms. Core. Now, with empty gear, so if you're on a trainer or if you're using a stationary bike, you're taking it to the end. So there's not a lot of resistance, it's not a hill. No resistance is not great. You don't want to hang out here for a long period of time, right? The bum is going to shake. The hips are going to rock up and down. You don't want that. You want to glue into the back of the saddle. Knees align with hips the best you can. Now, if I look down, my pelvis is going to pull forward and I'm going to round my back. The key is to look forward. Shoulders away from the ears, long through the spine, relax the belly. Let's find that flat road. Flat road is that you gear in them enough that it feels like the tires hit the pavement, right? There's some traction, resistance against gravity. Resist gripping with the handlebars. That's where we pull into. We think that pulling the body forward with the arms is going to get us faster. It's not going to take you anywhere. Core and legs are going to take you somewhere. All right. You can stay with 1.5 elbows slightly soft, right? You're not overreached. Or you can drop where you feel comfortable, keeping that long low back. You're not dipping, you're not counter curving, you want belly towards spine. All right, 7, find your breath, in and out through the nose the best you can. That is where the ride gets tricky. You're trying to practice a range of breath to fill the lungs. More oxygen means more power. So if you can put that in your mind, always search for longer breaths. Let's get right into the ride. It says 7 there, Claire? 7:30. All right. Here we are. This is 30 seconds. Find your legs. Flat road. Right? Flat road is you're kicking the heels back. Open the chest. Belly is soft. Even feel the belly kind of, jiggle. That's a horrible word, but it's not as moist. Yeah, Justin. Push down through the feet. Toes up, heels kick back. Here's 10 more seconds, and I want you to imagine a hill coming up in front of you. In 3, 2, 1. You got 90 seconds, the minute 30 to hit a 8 position. 8's not easy. Feels like you hit wind and like you want to stand. So that's the sensation. Glue the bum into the saddle. Yes. Right, you find that lift, you're forcing against gravity gets to the top of that hill. 90 seconds is hard. Right, it's a minute 30. Shoulders down the back. You're not in leg burn. Right, 8 is that kind of annoying straight-faced emoji. So that's why you can kind of describe it. Keep your motivation up. There's 40 seconds left. Remember, when you get to the top of that plateau, this pace, this 1, 2, 1, 2 pace, the slower pace is going to go double time. What do I have on there? There's 7.5 and 8. 30. Okay. Stand up and stand up. So this is your 8 of resistance. Scraping the feet. You're noticing the top of that hill. Shoulders soft down the back. Find your breath. In, breath out. Keeping the eyes focused. In 3, 2, you plateau across. Take it to a 7. Pick up your pace. There's 30 seconds. Your thighs coming closer. Shoulders down and back. Staying strong, push it to the end. 5, 4, 3. Slow it down. Back to a 7.5. You get a whole 60 seconds. Come back to your breath. Water, here comes the shoes. Okay. Now just like put them into your thing. Yeah. Alright, you're still rolling with it.
Do that same.
Keep your pace. Let's see if this helps. Oh man, this one is too good to let it go through. We'll get back to that. So if you're in my classes, you know that I have a tendency to go back and forth with things. Alright, let's start back. Let's find our 7.5 flat for 30 seconds. If you want to keep a visual in your mind, with your second hill, the hill's in front of you. You focus your eyes forward, laser forward. Push the handlebars towards the front. Pull the hips back. 7.5 challenges the breath. Getting closer and closer to that incline. This time it's a leg burn for 90 seconds. Dial in. Hit your resistance. Shoulder in onto the spine. Remember, slow legs. Find your resistance up. So that slingshot, hips are being pulled back. The gradation of that hill is increased. You're going to watch your chest. Watch the sway of your hips. Push the heels forward. Drag them across. Belly tight to spine. Remember, you're just in labor. Just in that 8.5. And the freedom that's going to come, that letting go at the top, is going to feel so good. Here's 40 more seconds. Stay with it. Remember those breaths if you can. Deeper in and out through the nose. Expand those lungs. Stay in your saddle. Kick the heels back. Woo! 15 more seconds. You see that crest of that hill coming up. Keep belly tight. Stay with it. 5, 4, 3. Take it back to an 8. Raise it up. Remember, still tight. It's not a release. Belly still close to the spine. Pick up your pace. Challenging the breath. It's a flat. Pick it up. Point is against your face. 3, 2, leg burn, 30 seconds. Dial it in. If you're in a stationary bike, reach forward. Up and out. Tap, tap, tap. Stay low. Pick up your pace though. Knees towards handlebars. Stay with it. 10 more seconds. Tap, tap. 3, 2. Sit down and back. Head back to an 8. Roll 60 seconds. Getting your breath back. That's some water. Keep momentum going in the body. All right. 30 more seconds. And then we get to go back into it. The hardest one we got. Biggest hill was 9 and 10. Woo! Okay. Drop into it. fingers. Breath as deep as you can make it. You got this hill, you're going to counter it. You're going to get to the tippity top of it. In 3, 2, find 9 or 10. Max it out. Feels like you've hit quicksand. Right? You're forcing the body up. A really steep incline. Shoulders soft. Notice my legs can't go much faster. Now I'm not at a 9 or 10 because I can talk. Right? You should be at a 9 or 10. Takes all your focus to get there. You want to be done with this, but you're going to conquer it. What's a minute left in the time that we got? Right towards the top. Scrape those heels back. Feels good to be back in the saddle. Tell you what, 40 seconds. Let that sweat move across the brow. Your bike, you're on a stationary bike. You're going to dial in, up and out. Stay slow. Like you're smushing grapes underneath the balls of those feet. Lift those knees right up. Like they want to throw over your handlebars. Music's going to tell us. Sit down and back. Edge and back. 8. Fast legs. Stay connected. There's a little wind in your face. Watch for the back of the stoplight. This is a spin up. A push to the finish line. Stay consistent. Stay with 1, 1, 1 legs. My favorite song all the time.
一定是保持生老的。
That stream light changes to orange. Edge it. Fast legs. 30 seconds. Fastest and hardest you got.
Yeah, that's fun. Can I do that same?
Keep that pace up. Roll across. Tap, tap, tap. Drop. Empty. Dial in 8. Push against it. 30 seconds into a flat. Here's the eyes forward. Shoulder down. Honest Jeff. I know, Jeff. Bullshit. 10 more seconds. You're gonna hit that incline. Let's start up and out if you have it on your stationary bike. Dial it up. Up and out. Notice the knees. They're dragging forward. Belly is so attached to that spine, it's almost hollowed into the body. Hard to breathe. I want that to be your focus. In and out of the lungs. How much oxygen can you pull in? Trying to power up those lungs. So important. Your legs and core. You have this. About 20 more seconds. Then you gotta push it as hard as you can in that sprint. That slingshot letting you go. Carefully pull back. 10 more seconds. Oh, we were here already. Love this show. All right. You're right there at the top. Take it back. Find your 8. Spin against it. Pick up your pace. 1, 1, 1. 50% above where you were. Then when we take some of that resistance off, we have more room for the low lungs. Take that breath. Expand. And in 3, 2, spin up. Fastest legs you got. Like you want to hit that leg. You're trying to beat that little leg. No cars on the road. That's for sure. Fastest legs you got. Push it to the end. Eyes be restored. Stay in that saddle. Last 10 seconds. Push that finish line. 5, 4, 3. Slow it down. Keep moving in the legs. Woo! I want you to burn time. Hands on hips. Knees in line. Feels good to sweat. Fucking sure does. You'll get used to your pelvic floor eventually, as we all know. Now, if you're on a trainer, coming up and out might not be a thing, but what I suggest is turn it up as high as you can, because this feels real good. If you're on a stationary bike, it will take a lot to push against it. Let's roll forward 2/3, top of your handlebars. Slowly come up. And then you take a few rolls. And that means it doesn't matter the body rocks back and forth. It does if you're on a trainer. Keep those knees gliding forward. So we're trying to keep movement through the body. Right? Anything pushing to our edges, we want to stay. Breath rate, lungs, all that. So if you're just joining in, yoga will be in momentarily. So stay with us. It'll be a yoga power, so get excited. Slowly come up and out. Up and parallel to the pedals. And shake. So the cool thing about shaking is it tells muscles to turn off. Right? It seems like it's silly, but it's not silly. And it feels so good. Let the belly, the chest get involved. Even the throat. Opposite leg forward, flat pedals. And you're just rocking back and forth so that the momentum starts to reverberate all the way to the top of the head. All right, let's slip down back. Let's empty the gear. Right to the bottom. Hands on hips. Touching my face. Wash your hands. Woo! But sweat is so good. Right, for the lymphatic system, to get out of your rut, to shake it off, to get the heart rate moving up. we talk about lung capacity, best thing you can do is this aerobic activity. Let's take a couple more breaths on the bike, leaning into the sensation, because that will be better over time. Pelvic floor will start to listen. Now at the Yoga Chapel, I'm going to mention, we don't use weights in the bike. We don't practice like that because our center of gravity is not strong. So when we come to the floor, that's when we get to build against resistance safely for our upper body and our core. So just throwing that out there. Toes up, heels, drop down. Okay. And let's slow that down. Back to 1.5. You can dial it in to slow it down. Resist against the pedals. Pushing that stop button if it's there. Taking your time as you come up and off. Okay. Now a nice one I'll show you. You know what, let's all come down onto the floor, seated. Because not all of us have a stable structure of our bike. So we'll take off our shoes, leave the socks on if you want, they might get slippy over time. Okay. So a figure 4 when we come back to seated. Feet mat width distance apart just for a moment. I'm going to turn this music off now because it doesn't at all like me. So find your playlist that starts to relax your body down. Okay. When you start to build a really strong metabolism and heart rate, become stronger and stronger, it will be faster for the breath to catch up. Right? Over time, we take these panting breaths in and out. We want to focus and start to focus on longer inhales and exhales. That starts to calm the nervous system down. And when we're in aerobic activity, we want to race away from those lines, right? It's stressful. And then we pull it back. That's the cool thing about 2020 or 30-30s at the Yoga Chapel.
Lindsay Smith arrived.
Hello, Lindsay from France. I love you. Okay, bring your hands back. Let's cross the right ankle over left thigh. So you've just joined us. Here's the yoga part. You don't need anything special, just your mat and your body. If you're really tight in the outside of the glutes or the thighs, you're going to pull the left leg further away from you. Tempt the fingertips, start to draw the right knee away from you. The tighter the heel comes to the body, right, the more you resist against the top of that left thigh. I want both those sit bones drop down. So the intensity or your range of motion is on that left leg. Spend a couple little breaths, dropping through the left hip as it's lifting, taking this point of the practice to calm the breath down and ujjayi breath, in and out through the nose if you can. To release, round this chest back, drop the right foot down, cross the left ankle over, come into the other side. Now one side might be very different from the other, right? You're not trying to force it. Eventually you want both sides to be as equal as they can. But if there's resistance and it's causing the breath to catch, just pull it back. Round and back to release the feet. Feet mat width distance apart, dropping the knees towards the right. We're going to get into deer just a little bit differently. Pulling the right heel in line with the knee the best you can. And the same is true with the back of the left leg. Left knee in line with the heel. All right. Left hip draws back, chest faces the right shin. Using the hands or the fingertips to drop the right shin down. Now the left hip might stay lifted. I want you to think about a string, drawing that hip back. Push to the inside of the left knee, left ankle. Take a breath in. Take a long breath out. Keeping the pelvis facing relatively forward, you're going to come forward. Fingertips tend. Start to push to the outside of the right knee and the right ankle, keeping the left inside knee and ankle pushing down. And you're walking a little further back. Left hip is drawing away as the right hip anchors in the body. Right? You're not
relax in this position, there is a driving of the lower body into the floor. Let's walk back up to the shin. Turn the chest to face the inside of the right arch. Knees push down towards the floor, and then the same motion coming as close towards the inside of the foot as you can with the chest. I'm going to slowly come all the way up. I'm going to twist my body. You're going to keep the legs exactly where they are and find a rotation. Now the chest starts to pull in line with the right hip. Walk the arms as far away from the body as you want. That could be the hands are pushing into the floor. That means the forearms can come down towards the ground, or you're coming all the way down towards the floor into that left side body stretch. Right? The left armpit wants to reach the ground if it's lifting. Let's find a little range of breath. Exhale fully. Inhale to your depth. Exhale out. Lift the head. Walk the arms closer towards the hip. And you're going to come into the other side. Drop the fingertips back. Slowly lift the knees, dropping the legs the other direction. And I'll show you in a different perspective. So left heel in line with the knee, back leg also. And then facing the hip forward, dropping the right hip back. Right? It has a tendency you want to pull forward, you want to draw. And one side might be really different from the other, so I want you to be aware of how the body and the range of movement is for you. Okay, so this might be your position, fingertips tented. It's not a lot of a hinge coming forward. If you start to hinge forward and you're losing as you're falling towards the left hip, you're going to back off a little bit. Right? Push the inside of the right, the outside of the left, shoulders onto the back. If you're coming forward, you're dropping the forearms down. Be aware of the right hip. Let's take one more loud breath together. Exhale it out. Walk back towards the shin, keeping the legs where they are. There's a rotation of the body towards the inside arch of the left foot to drop the feet down. And so where you'll start to feel it is that depth of breath of the left side. Right? The right hip is trying to tuck back behind you. Probably won't drop you super low, but if there's flexibility in the hips, go for it. Right? You're trying to find an edge or your ceiling of that range of movement. Stay engaged as you slowly come all the way up, and as slow as you can, tent the fingertips. And I'm going to shift my body to fold, show you the twist. Nothing changes with the legs. You twist through. Chest tries to face the left hip. Slowly come into your deer twist. Right? That can be forearms on one side. Right hip draws back. Try not to tuck the chin, but look towards the mat right in front of you. Good, slowly unwind, come all the way back to center. Use the fingertips to help draw the legs, feet mat width distance apart. Lean back into the hands to windshield wiper the legs. So just bringing some more fluid into front of the hips. So the thing with cycling is our hip flexors are always flexed because we're in a seated position. So we're going to try to stretch that out and then get a little bit deeper. All right. Let's bring the feet together. Fingertips forward, right into your first downward facing dog. So feet mat width distance apart so it's wider. Outside blades of the feet find the mat. Index and fingers roll down. Bend the knees as much as you need. Lift the hips back and up. Right, belly towards spine, shoulders out of the ears. So always alignment when we start to come into yoga poses. That's what makes yoga and stretching different. We're connected to our whole system. Maybe wagging the tail side to side. And tail, why not? Because those dog videos right now are probably keeping us all entertained and happy. All right. And slowly come forward into your high plank position. Lower the knees, retuck the toes,
And this is pulling into a sprawl. Squeeze the bum, shoulders start to stack over the hips, stretch through the core. Take a breath, and a breath out. Tuck the chin, straight arms, lift the hips, close the belly towards thighs, back into a wide-legged downward facing dog. Hop the feet together. Inhale, lift the right leg high. Exhale, step the right foot through, drop the left knee down. Low lunge. Now, if there's any troubles with the back of the knee, you can roll over your mat to give yourself a little bit of cushioning, or even better, push and drive through the right heel, lift the back knee. So we're trying to get into the quad, the opening in the hip flexor to the knee, so that fascial range. So if you're lifted or you're dropped, you want to find a release of the body. Okay, if the knee was down, let's all lift the knee together, fingertips tented, pull the hips back, straighten the front leg. A variation of pyramid position, meaning that I'm a bit longer with my legs, back heel might not find the floor, and that's a nice stretch through the calf, right? Back through those Achilles, fingertips stay tented. Okay, fun hop switch. Plant the hands. Let's take where the left foot and meet it where the right foot is. Come into your other side. Either dropping the knee of the right down, left knee forward, or keeping the knee lifted or tucked underneath the mat. Now, if your hands want to plant, they can plant just as long as you're not losing the heel in the front of the foot. So we'll stay here, that range of motion, allowing the knee to pull past the toes, shoulders out of ears. So if the knee was down, you tuck under the toes, lift the hips. Pull the hips back, straighten the front leg. Tent the fingertips will help, keeping the left toes down. Right, roll forward so you can plant the hands. Step forward with the right foot. Inhale, push against the shins. Exhale, deeper fold, long back legs. Inhale, sweep all the way up, look up. Exhale, hands to the center line of the chest. Find two flows. Inhale, sweep up, look up. Exhale, hinge over long legs, elbows forward, hips back. Weight into the toes, inhale, half back, look down. Exhale, plant the hands. Move through your flow, that's a hop back, a step back. Inhale, roll into the tips of the toes. Exhale, lower to the knees or halfway down. Inhale, up dog, sprawl, cobra. Exhale, roll back over the toes, close off the belly, downward dog. Feet hip width distance apart. Breath in through the nose. Exhale through the nose. Toes together. Look forward, hop, step, walk towards the top. Inhale, half back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep all the way back up. Exhale, hands to the center line of the chest. Right into your next one. Breath in. Breath out. Inhale, half back. Exhale, plant. If you're hopping back, you hop back, chaturanga, right? You step back. Up dog, sprawl, toes tucked. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's hold 2 breaths, finding the back of the legs, not locking out the knees, but lifting the hips. All right. Lift the right leg high. As you lift the right, you're gonna point the toe, bend the left knee, give your pelvis space. Start to drop the right foot over to the left. Not opening the chest, right? Opening the hip, bend the left knee. Inhale, come back, 3-legged dog. Exhale, right knee, low left wrist. Hold, breath in. Exhale, take it back, high plank. Inhale, breath. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right into the other side. Lift the left, point, bend the right knee, lift the left knee, drop the left foot over to the right. Closing the ribs off. Inhale, back through 3-legged dog. Exhale, left knee, low right wrist. Hold for a breath in. And then breath out. Restack the heels, high plank, breath in. Exhale, lower to the knees or chaturanga. Drop the knees down towards the floor, cobra, look to the ground. Exhale, roll back through the knees, long arms, downward facing dog. Drop the knees down. We're gonna come into loaded B. So if you're not accustomed to loaded B's, plant the hands, pull the hips back, stabilize through the shoulders as you lift the knees to graze over the floor, okay? So it's not up here. You wanna find paper width distance against the ground, okay? Take a breath in, take a breath out. Inhale, roll forward, unload, chin stay low. Exhale, tuck it back. Inhale, unload. Exhale, tuck it back. High hip beast, you're high onto the toes. Shrug the shoulders. Lift the right leg, three-legged dog. Exhale, pull the right knee to the bicep, stretch the left leg. Take the knee low, left wrist. Back up to the bicep. High plank. Loaded beast. High hip beast. Stay for the exhale. Lift the left toes. Pull the left knee to the armpit. Low right wrist. Back up to the armpit. High plank breath. Exhale, loaded beast. One more. High hip beast. Stay for the exhale. Lift the right toes. Right knee to the bicep. Low right wrist. Without shifting up. High plank. Loaded beast. High hip beast. Exhale. Lift the left. Left knee to bicep. Low right wrist. Lift it back up. High plank. Loaded beast. Stay with it. Breath in. Exhale, unload. Two more. Inhale, pull it back. Exhale, unload, shoulders stacked. Take it back, loaded beast. Exhale, lower the knees, untuck the hands, wide-legged child's pose. Find the breath coming back. In and out through the nose. Let the hips tuck under, closer to the heels. Swaying the hips back and forth. Back and forth. All right. So, for my little team, we're gonna do a full or half scorpion, which is really fun. And then we'll take it to pigeon and we'll start to slow it back down. So if you haven't done full or half scorpion before, this is gonna be the time. So, find space. Let's come back to loaded beast. I'll show you first. You're gonna lift the knees. You're gonna pull the right knee, low right, left wrist. Sweep in a semicircle up, over, drop the right foot down, hug the right elbow to the inside of the right leg. Notice my left leg. I'm gonna come back, drop the hands towards the right, tuck the left leg under, up, over, fall into your twist, left elbow hangs under. Let's come back. We're gonna start the other side. Loaded beast. Left knee, low right wrist. Semicircle across and up and drop softly. Switch. Left hand to the left. Lift all the way up with the right. Drop it down, tuck it in, take it back. Loaded beast. Let's do one more. Right knee, low, left. Semicircle up. Lift the knee. Drop it back. Drop it down. Switch, left leg under. Lift, up, over, drop. Loaded beast, prepping to the other side. Left knee, left, low right. Sweep. Semicircle to lift the hips. Drop, open the chest. Point the right toe, drop the left hand underneath the body. Up, over, drop. Tuck it back, loaded beast. Knees pull back. Let's relax the hands, relax the forehead. Good. Tend the fingertips, hop forward. Let's come into a seated twist. Lengthen the left leg. Cross the right leg over. Let's keep the left leg extended. Right hand behind you. Wrap the left arm around. Hug closer to the thigh, open the chest. Anchor through the left heel, breath in. Exhale, find a rotation through. Chin towards right shoulder. Slowly come back to center.
Drop the hands down, round, right into the right leg. Body comes forward to stack over the hips, push into the left foot. Wrap the arm around to help rotate the ribs. Take a breath in and extend. Exhale to rotate. Breath in. Exhale, come through center. Soles of the feet together, butterfly the legs. Good. And so from here, coming right onto your back, any final on climb. And then a good one that we'll end with is John Prine, who we all know passed away yesterday. So our thoughts are with his family, and that he brought a lot of beautiful music into this world. With Animal Flow, come back here first. We're going to do kettlebell soon. Animal Flow, I'm a registered teacher, so I can't teach you physically, but I can teach you as best I can online, and it's always paired with some really good yoga flows, so watch out for those. Have an amazing day. Thanks for tuning in, and let's go into Shavasana, coming onto your back. So have an amazing day. Take a listen to John Prine, and I'll see you soon. Namaste.
Namaste.